Hello and welcome, and thank you for joining me. My name is Julie Lewin. If you are new here and you haven't met me before, please let me know. I do readings based on my 3 card decks. So I have the AreekeerA cards. They were my first deck that I made, and I did all the artwork. So the AreekeerA cards are based on the 7 bodies: physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, auric, energetic, and etheric. And then each body has 7 cards and their qualities or characteristics of the body. And I've assigned each body a color of the chakra rainbow. So that's why they're different colors. So we have the master card and the 7 quality cards. So that's those cards. These cards, my daughter and I designed together, and they're the Magic Not Logic cards. And Tash did the artwork and the light code, and together we did the clearing and the activation. And the 3rd deck of cards is if that's not a message, I don't know what is. Say no. I did the original artwork based off of the 66 exercises and techniques that I put in my book. So I used this book in conjunction with these cards, and I share wisdom, as you know. I share wisdom and make it fun. We're going to use these cards. Here we go. Alrighty. That's the one. Bodily. Be conscious as the body. And I know that that is what's happening for you, that you are doing that. But let's see. So because that's red, it's part of the physical body. Here we go. Your physical body is the vehicle that supports all your other bodies and allows your spirit/soul to have a human experience. Support this process by being fully present in your body and nurture it. That way your spirit/soul has the most fulfilling and exceptional experience possible. This is the body you have, and the truth is most people have something about their body they don't like. When you focus on the aspects of your body you do like, you will mysteriously transform your relationship with all of it in a positive way. Love your unique qualities. They are what make you stand out and shine. Celebrate the body you have, and if you want to change it, start the steps of change today and love every step of your way. This sounds like it's a summary of where your journey has gone. This is the sentence that I love. You are awesome simply by being your authentic you. Treat yourself to a juice made from fresh fruit and vegetables. This is very cleansing and revitalizing. And support your body today by only consuming whole foods. You are awesome. You are amazing. But what I was getting as I read that was a download of you sitting with your bare feet on the grass. Is it possible for you to get to the beach and to walk along the beach and get your feet in the salt water? So I think that this is a confirmation of what you're already doing, and I'm just being told to do one of these as well. What is the extra message? Okay. Ooh, a candle cleanse. So is there anything funky happening with the energy? If there is, then you can do the candle cleanse. And so this is a normal house candle. This is alfoil. It's my attempt at some alfoil. And what you do, you don't go really slow like this, and you don't go super fast like that. You just do a normal speed, medium speed, and you raise the candle up into each corner of the room or over furniture, any space, I would check all the walls and the corners, and you say, I cleanse this room in God's light. Now, if black smoke comes off, you say it again, I cleanse this room in God's light. And you keep going until no black smoke comes off that particular part. And there will be parts in your room or in your home that has no black smoke, but there'll be other parts that may. And when you're finished, wrap everything up in the alfoil and you throw it in the bin outside of the home. Like, don't put it in the bin under the sink, outside of the home, because you just want to get rid of all of that. Okay, expressive. Communicate with a loving heart. It's part of the emotional body. So let's see. Here we go. An open heart radiates truth and integrity, and this flows into your voice box and communication center, making the process of speaking your truth with ease and grace a natural process. Others will receive you at the heart level and know the truth of your communication, regardless of whether what is said is painful or joyful. Some circumstances call for the mother force, the gentle, nurturing, embracing, encouraging words, and other circumstances call for the father force, the discipline, the boundaries, and the accountability. And when you are called to discipline yourself or another, communicate from your heart space with love, and you will be received and in time appreciated. The love vibration will take the sting out of your words. So the question is, are you expressing yourself effectively? And the exercise is practice serving others. Before communicating, consider whether you are serving yourself or the other person. And if you are serving yourself, make it about the other person. And you will experience a tangible shift in your relationships. However, don't confuse service with being a doormat. Within the framework of service, there is always respect of self and of those who you serve. I seek to be understood and then to understand. Yeah. And I think that the key here is to drop down into your heart space and then communicate. And you can have those conversations that you have to lean into. And sometimes we lean out of conversations. And what I mean by lean into those conversations, it's those difficult ones. It's the challenging ones that are uncomfortable. So don't shy away from uncomfortable conversations. Lean in and bring love, compassion. And when I'm using the word compassion, they're telling me compassion for yourself as well as the other. It's not all a one-way street that you have to kind of do all the work. They're saying to point the compassion back at yourself as well. Does that make sense? I think that the key here is don't confuse service with being a doormat. And there's always respect within the framework of service. So, but I can feel you. And if you're struggling to get down into your heart space and you're up in your head, the thing that I learned that I really, really love is the shaman's tap. And you get 3 fingers like this, like my nails are long, so it's a bit hard. 3 fingers, and just like this is the sternum here, and you just go slightly to the left because our heart kind of sits on this side, and you just go 3 times. And what that does is it brings you out of your head down into your heart. That's why they call it the shaman's secret, because you're dropping into that heart space. Even if you need to communicate something uncomfortable, you're coming from this space. Does that make sense, and is that helpful? Okay, let's do one of these cards. This is the one that's talking to me, the art of self-healing. Here we go. Guys, did you see that? Okay, that's the prayer of protection. I have goosebumps. So the prayer of protection is something that I've been doing for 40 years, since my son was a baby. So the one that I do is, in the name of Jesus Christ, I call upon the spirits of light to stand guard at the doorway of my soul and guide me in the ways of truth, love, and light, and protect me from the forces of darkness and deception. That's the one I learned in 1987, so 38 years ago, when I did my psychic development course. And since then, since I do the clearings and the activations, I have added on another part, and I say, I invite the guardians and the ancestors and the subtle realm beings to assist in this healing, this clearing, this whatever it is that I'm doing. And then I do what I do, because I had an experience where the guardians helped me, and so I like to call on the guardians. But you don't have to do my prayer, but what I'm getting for you is to make prayer of protection part of your daily ritual sequence or routine, so that you are protected, that you're feeling protected, because you do amazing work. So the prayer of protection is what's come up. Now let me have a look. What, page 27, what else did, guys, I opened it right on the page. So this is what I want to share with you. These are when I use it. When I do hands-on healing, distance healing, medical intuitive scans, going into a crowd, for example, concerts, cinemas, shopping malls. Also, when you are receiving healing or therapies, particularly if you're an empath or a sensitive to other people, and I know that you're an empath, when you get a massage, a facial reflexology, when you're receiving distance healing or hands-on healing, it's invaluable to protect your energy. So that's all about energy protection for you. So I hope that is helpful. When you ask, God answers, right? It just may not be the answer coming from the direction that you're expecting. And that's the thing. Our answers come from our prayer, like our asking for help in many different directions. And so one is coming through the cards, but another could be coming from a song. Like you might hear the words in a song and go, oh, that's it. That's the message that I needed to hear. So we're looking for validation and confirmation all the time. And so I'm glad that I was able to do that for you today. And here's the thing. If you help one person, you are doing your job. You don't have to help thousands of people. One person and you've done your job for the day. Yay! I'm getting the magic, not logic. Here we go. You guys, they're just flying out. Oh, look at this. All the hairs are up on my arms. Oh, the clearing, they are popping right out today. They did last night, some of them too. Okay, this is your clearing. I'll put it back up in a sec. Do you have the belief work isn't meant to be fun, otherwise it wouldn't be work? The activation is, if I don't have fun, then it's not going to be sustainable. I easily find the balance between work and play. What I'm being told is that it's almost like you need air to breathe, you need fun in your life. You need to be able to have fun at work. Otherwise, you just won't be able to function. and you won't be able to give your best. And I'm going to give you an example of how I made a really boring job fun back in the old days. I think it was in the 80s, 1980s. And computers were really new and as big as my desk here, like, you know, a meter, 1.5 meters, that was the computer. And my job was to, if you can imagine, this is an A4 sheet of paper, so pages like that, just with survey numbers. There were just all random numbers in rows and rows and rows, and I had to input it into the computer. That was I think the boringest, unjoyful job that I ever had. So I decided to make it fun. And so there was a big clock on the wall with a second hand. I would wait till it got on the 12, and then I would type as fast as I could to see how long it would take me to type one page into the computer of numbers. And then I'd look up when I finished and I'd go, phew, I did that in 5 minutes. And so I played a game with myself. So I didn't have to involve anyone else in the office. But because I was like going so fast and so intensely, I couldn't sustain that for 8 hours a day. So I said to the big boss, I said, you know what, I will work really hard, but every 55 minutes I will get up and I will walk around and I will talk to your staff and I will laugh, I will have fun. I said, but I promise you I will only do it for 5 minutes and I'll go back and I'll give you 55 minutes of focused energy. I was 100% accurate with my typing and they knew that I was good. And so they let me do it. But I played a game, an inner game with myself to bring the joy into that really boring job. Now, I'm not saying that that is possible today. I think our times are different, but there's something that you'll be able to do because fun and joy is like your lifeblood. Does that make sense? One of the things that I do when I do my work, I have a closing prayer. So my closing prayer is, I return through any open portals, anything that's no longer required. And I close those portals down. And I actually physically do this in the air. And then I say, I retract all outbound connections and I release all inbound connections. I return any parts of the soul scattered in the universe back into the body so that they are whole and complete. And I thank the guardians and the ancestors and the subtle realm beings for their assistance today. Thank you, thank you, thank you, and it is done. That's quite a long one, right? But yeah, that's what I say. But you could do your own version, and that's about bringing all your energy back from wherever it's scattered to. Let's see. There we go. It wanted to fly out. And you got 2 cards. Okay, so this one says, I can't do anything right. And this one says, I never finish what I start, so I will never be successful. Are either of these lurking in your mind? This one, the activation is, I don't have to get everything right. I learn from my mistakes and I improve things on the feedback that I receive. And this one, some things aren't meant to be finished. They are the stepping stones for new ideas or perspectives. I allow inspiration to flow. This one is the one that's speaking to me more. Some things aren't meant to be finished. Do you have any unfinished projects that you feel guilty about? So I wanted to share a story with you, and it's these cards, right? I did this artwork I think I started in 2004 or 2006, and I got the artwork done, and then I parked it, and then I got all the words done, and then I parked it. And when I say I parked stuff, this project took 7 or 8 years to bring to print. So the thing that happens is sometimes we can't move forward with something because we haven't got the information that we need yet, and it's not even in the world yet. So you can park things and then circle back. Now, this is something that Tash, my daughter, is really passionate about. She says that we go in a spiral, that this is how we do life, right? So imagine this is 3D, and we're walking along this path, and we go, oh, that's an interesting situation. And then we think, oh, I've done the work of that. Thank goodness this learning is done. And then we come around and we're going on this journey, right? And we're coming around and we're still really grateful that we've done this lesson, but we're higher up. But we come to this point again and we go, no, I thought that I had done this. Why am I still having to do this? It's through a different lens. There's something new to learn. And so the thing is that we're going to spiral. If we don't learn the lesson here fully, we're going to get another opportunity. It doesn't mean that we're going to have to redo everything that we've learned, but there's still core things that we learn as a human, because that's what we chose when we came. So I guess what I'm saying here is, don't feel that you're a failure, or don't feel that you never finish things. If you're parking them to come back round up here where you've got more knowledge, more insight, and then you can do more on the project. These, as I said, took me 8 years, and this is the 3rd iteration, and I'm about to do the 4th iteration. So technology, knowledge, everything expands as we're going, but I don't feel like I failed because of the other 2 iterations. I feel like this was a good job at the time, and so now I'm doing it again in this size with different artwork. So what I'm feeling for you is, sometimes you're not meant to finish a project. You're meant to learn what you need, and when you've learned what you needed to learn, you can actually let the rest of it go. I guess that's what I'm saying. And here's the thing, if you're a generator or a manifesting generator in the human design, you're going to need multiple projects on the go at the same time. Now, that's not for everyone, but a generator, we have multiple projects on the go, and it's okay. What is a generator? In human design, based on your date of birth, your time of birth, so you can look it up, you put in your details, where you were born. It's kind of like astrology and numerology. It's a few things all kind of pulled together, but it's wild. There's generator, manifesting generator, manifestor, reflector, and projector. So there's 5 archetypes, I think, based on your date of birth, your time of birth, and where you were born. And it's quite fascinating. And when you learn about what you are, it helps you navigate life. And because we're not all the same, then We can't compare ourselves to others, right? My husband, my son, and my daughter-in-law are projectors. Tash is a manifesting generator and I'm a generator. It's called human design. I think you'll find it interesting. Here we go. Alrighty, we've got journal exercise and we've got accessing memory. I don't remember that accessing memory. It's hilarious. I wrote the book and I can't remember what I wrote. Oh, right. Right. So this one here is about using memory as part of creative visualization and meditation. So that's this one here. So I'll explain that in a sec. Which journal exercise was this? Oh, okay. Okay, so that makes sense. So both of them are about visualization. And okay, so what we've got here is using memory to support visualization, and this is keeping a journal of what you visualize. So what I'm getting for you is get a new journal. You may have a new journal. Some people like to collect journals. In my free area on Insight Timer, there's a meditation called Sacred Garden. And this is what I'm getting for you. In the Sacred Garden, there is a path. On one side, the garden is all designed and beautiful. And on the other side, it's just bare earth. There's nothing there. So you can create on that side, or you can tweak on this side, or spend time in the one that's already designed. So when you have a challenge, as they rise up, we all experience challenges at times. Remember that creative visualization can change the frequency in your being. And so what I'm getting is for you to do the Sacred Garden meditation, and you make a choice. Do you want to go in and create a garden from scratch, or do you want to fix something? And I'll give you an example. One of my friends, this is way back, like nearly 40 years ago. No, 1995. What's that? 30 years ago. She said, all these problems are showing up in my life, like this happened, that happened. And I said, why don't you go and do the Sacred Garden? And she said to me the next day, you are not going to believe this, Julie. In my garden that was already established, there were all these big rocks, like big rocks that were just disrupting the flow of the garden. It's not how I wanted my garden to be. She said, so I got a wheelbarrow and I put all those rocks in the wheelbarrow and I wheeled it to a cliff and I tipped all the big rocks over the edge of the cliff. And she said, and my garden looked beautiful. It felt beautiful. She said, you're not going to believe it, but all those problems that I was experiencing, that was rushing at me, they've all disappeared. So that's the power of visualization. Now, I'm getting for you to do some visualization. There's spontaneous visualization, there's creative visualization, and there's specific visualization. And that's what this exercise is about. It's about understanding the 3 different types of visualization. Spontaneous visualization is when we just have a vision that pops in. Creative visualization is when we access our memory and we kind of are designing. And specific visualization is when you've written down a visualization that you've done previously that was either spontaneous or creative, and you do it again and follow the same thing. that's specific. So you get creative and spontaneous here, you write it in your journal, and then you've got a record of it so you can replicate it. And that's what I'm being given to you as your message. Does that make sense? That's a project that you can start. I hope that is helpful for you. I got a bit passionate about that, but that's what I'm feeling. You journal every day. That's awesome. So what I'm getting is for you to actually journal the structure of the visualization that you get, because that structure is going to be repeatable and you'll be able to share it with others. That's awesome. Look, the clock's going off. That's saying, and I've got goosebumps. It's important that you do this. The way the cards are showing themselves today has been so interesting. Another proof positive of the veracity of this way for knowledge and guidance has made me feel happier witnessing this happen and resulting messages. Thank you everyone for allowing me to share a much needed lift in spirit. That's awesome. I'm so happy to hear that. We do have fun here. That's my plan. And thank you for your beautiful message. I love it. These are the cards for you today. We got 2 cards here, and they're both along the same vein. So this is prayer of protection, and this is holding your hands under running water to cleanse. So cleanse and protection of, I don't know if you can see the goosebumps, is super important for me. I'm not sure, what is it that you do for your work? Because what I'm getting is that it's really important for you to do the protection every day. And if you work with clients, run your hand underwater. One of my students actually does it up to her elbow, and she just like cleanses herself between every client. And so I'm just getting strong validation of you doing the cleanse. Now, the other thing that I'm also getting is when you have your shower, I'm assuming that you shower and not bath, that you let the water run through the crown of your head. And as you're doing that, you imagine that the water is coming through you and cleansing every nook and cranny. And if you imagine looking down, the water that comes out is not the same beautiful golden water that's coming in. And you just keep that happening until the water coming out the bottom of your feet and your fingers is the same color as what it is going in. And you will feel lighter, you will feel clearer, and you will feel happier. That's what I'm getting. Prayer of protection. You don't have to use mine. You can use yours. And you've got my book. So let me just see if the shower one is in there. No, I don't think it is. But that's the extra one. These 2 obviously are in there. This one is on page 133, and this one is on page 27. You do the prayer of protection. That's awesome. So now what they're saying is to run the water over your arms and your hands. And I just feel like that's going to become a matter of course for you to do through the day. But I also feel the shower is going to be helpful. I call it the metaphysical shower, but I do it when I'm literally in the shower, and I just close my eyes and do the visualization as well. So I hope that is helpful. But what this is saying to me is that you are an empath, that you're sensitive to the energies of the world, of the people, and to also not claim everything that you're feeling. I'm feeling that you need to just check in and go, does this actually belong to me? Does this feeling or this pain belong to me? And if you get your body pendulum no, then I bless you, I release you, I return to sender. And that is going to make a really big difference to how you are navigating these chaotic times that we're in. And I'm all like, they've reminded me 3 times. I have on the free area of my profile on Insight Timer, I have the chakra meditation. Guys, with all the solar flares and the 3-eye atlas, like all of the celestial stuff going on, it's impacting us, and it is actually shattering our chakras. The energy in our chakra centers is being shattered right now. And if you go and do that meditation, I think I called it chakra magic or chakra balance, chakra something, there's only one, it will make a tremendous difference. So that's what I'm feeling as well for you. Go listen to the chakra meditation. And once you learn the process of it, you don't have to listen to my voice. That meditation goes for 30 minutes. I balance my chakras in like 2 minutes, because I just go, yep, 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 and it's done. But you know, it's nice to be given time. Some people like time. I like to just get in there and do it. So I hope that was helpful. Here we go. That, I'm going to take that one, and then let's see what the next one is, and that one. Ooh, so we have quality from the auric body, and we have rational. This one says presume the disposition of excellence in health. This one, rational, make your decisions through the faculty of reasoning. So this is the mental body, this is the auric body. Let's have a look. There we go. It can be challenging to be rational when you're in the grip of passionate emotion. Wisdom comes with balance and objectivity. Remove the emotion from your situation and look at it objectively. Do you notice the cloud of confusion, anger, frustration, overwhelm, sorrow, or anxiety dissolves to the point where you can make a rational decision and move forward? So that's when we remove emotion, that it the cloud lifts basically. And you will greatly enhance your deductive ability by not engaging your negative or idealistic feelings when making your decisions. So I really like this exercise. It says when you make your decisions after determining that the facts measure up, ask yourself the following questions to ensure you are on track. How do I feel about this decision? How will this decision affect my future? Is this decision ecologically safe? And does this decision empower me and or others? You follow your spiritual intuition. I've got someone here. Do you ever feel stuck in negative feelings when you're making your decisions? Or do the thoughts that you have kind of go like that, and you can just fully trust your spiritual intuition? That's absolutely awesome. It sounds like you have worked out how to make your decisions. So here's what I'm thinking, that you get a good feeling about your decision, and that's how you know to make that decision, and you trust that this decision is going to have a positive impact on your future. The one that I'm feeling is, and I also feel that it empowers you, the one that you might want to have a think about is this decision ecologically safe? But I think that you've worked it out, and I think that's a really good validation for you. Let me just see what the quality card says. So you have your method for being able to make your decision. That's fantastic. And let's just have a look here. quality of life. I'm just going to read the exercise. Express your gratitude for the quality of your life, however great or small. Say a prayer, write it in your gratitude journal, have a gratitude ceremony. Be creative in expressing your gratitude. There are many small ways you can express gratitude for things that equal quality of life for you, and it expands your awareness and increases your capacity to feel joy and happiness in all circumstances. So what I'm getting from this card is, and it also says everyone has their own unique version of quality of life. And I think that you're doing the work. I'm feeling that you are doing the work. I feel like these are confirmation cards for you. I think that the clear message is that you're on track and you're doing great. You're doing a great job. Awesome. I'm so happy about that. Yeah, I'm right there with you about the gratitude. And that's probably why I wrote it that way, because I feel the same way. That's awesome. Here we go. Let's see. There we go. Goosebumps. The MasterCard for the emotional body. The ultimate emotion is love. And this card was trying to go with it. And so I pulled that one over as well. It's the intention card. Can you see the heart just there? That's why I love this card. It says, set your desired intention and take action. But this is the one that fairly flew out. Okay, here we go. Fear, sorrow, and anger and all the sub-emotions from these primary emotions cycle in various rhythms throughout your life. I love this so much. Just as the sun always shines, regardless of whether from your perspective you can see it or whether it can or cannot be seen, love is the unchanging constant that vibrates beneath the surface of all other emotions, despite their intensity. Feeling emotion is the truly human experience. It is acceptable to feel all emotions, but know that you did not make a contract to be trapped by emotion. It is your birthright to love and be loved till you could burst with joy, and to laugh every day till you cannot breathe. Yes, feel all your emotions, but don't wallow in them. On the opposite side of the coin, don't avoid feeling your emotions. Suppressed emotions become trapped in your physical body and is the root cause of disease and discomfort. Discomfort is your trigger or your sign, depending on how you want to look at it, to inspect your emotions. I'm going to read the exercise and then I'm going to come back to what I just thought. Emotions are the lifeblood of being human. You can experience a multitude of emotions, that is, for example, be happy, joyful, and fun to be around, or angry, sad, or jealous. What emotions do you choose to experience today? And there is no right or wrong emotion. The key to this exercise is to truly feel your emotions rather than to seek a particular emotion or avoid the emotion that arises by distracting yourself. So once you are connected, simply observe the process play out. And if you can do that, just be the observer. How do you become the observer, you say? By the drama triangle. In any drama or conflict or discomfort, there's the victim, rescuer, and persecutor. When we can identify the role that we're playing, we can then become the observer, and then we can become the creator of our reality. But it's not by avoiding or seeking. Does that make sense? So what I'm getting from these cards for you is, know that underneath everything is love. That's the ultimate emotion. And then, because this card came up, set your desired intention and take action. So what I'm getting is that your desired intention could be that in conflict or discomfort or drama, that you actually do this little exercise and you ask yourself, what role am I playing in this situation? And that's going to flip you up here as the observer. And then you'll go, oh, I am doing that. And then what happens is you can interrupt the loop. Like a situation just doesn't happen, right? There's all these little steps. There's all these steps. So when you become the observer, you can make a choice to interrupt the loop, and you can just step out. Does that make sense? Because sometimes those ones that are not needed to be seen, if we can just observe them, they just like peter out. I don't know. As the observer, you actually can move through. And when I say that unprocessed or suppressed emotion, I had multiple surgeries in my 30s, my 20s, my 30s, my 40s. I had 6 major surgeries, and I wish I knew what I know now, because I decided to be the good girl, and I would just push everything down to be the good girl facade, and I rotted everything in my body that could be removed. And I'm not proud of that, but I learned, and I'm now sharing. And so now I swear a lot to my friends, and it helps me process emotion by swearing, and I love it. I absolutely love it. But I won't swear on here because I don't want to offend anyone. But I love swearing, and I didn't start swearing until I had my thyroid out. I had 4 diseases in my throat, guys. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? My throat chakra must have been completely blocked. And so when I had that surgery, I just started going, you know what? I'm just going to say it. I'm going to say it. Okay. Here we go. Oh, there we go. That's what we wanted. Oh my goodness. Look at that. There were 3 cards that flew out. This was the very first meditation I ever did. So this meditation is absolutely phenomenal. This is a train track. I tried to paint a train track, and this is a tunnel, and that is a stationary train. That's how I imagined it. And so what I would do is I would sit on my meditation cushion for 15 minutes every day. I tried to do it at the same time, in the same place, on the same cushion. So that was the instructions that I received from the lady that taught me how to do this. And she said, just do it, basically. So I would feel the rocks under my feet. I would feel the coldness of I brought all of my senses into it. And sometimes I got part way up the tunnel. Other times I got further. I would feel the walls. Sometimes they were moist with water dripping down. I made it a full sensory experience. One time I even got to the light, and it was like there was an edge. It wasn't a train at all. And I stepped into the light, and I'm not going to tell you what happened because it's too wild. But if you have the courage to step into that light, go for it. That is an amazing meditation. And then we get the breath meditation. And then we get left hand, right hand drawing. So you can see I've got an R here. That's my right hand did that, and my left hand did that. There's something about being ambidextrous, using both hands to do something creative. it rewires our brain, and it gives us a more expanded experience of being on the earth. So I would encourage you to do some left hand, right hand drawing or painting. It's fun. It's absolute fun. And the really weird thing is that I prefer my left-handed artwork to my right-handed, and I'm naturally right-handed. So there's that. So there's meditation, there's doing some art. Can't remember what this breath is, so let me look it up. Page 41, because I've got a couple of breaths. Oh, that's right, that's that one. So that's where you sit, and you don't do deep breathing. It's actually the most subtle breathing, and you just be aware of the hairs on the top of your lip and in your nose. Like, everyone has hairs, but it's like your whole focus is this part here and the nose, and you're barely breathing at all. And what happens is you just become still. It's the most beautiful meditation. So that's that one. And you'll feel your lungs fill up, and then just have the breath gently drift out, and it's like this whole heartbeat kind of breath movement. So there we go. There's some projects for you. Train light, breath, and drawing or painting. So what it means is that it's all internal stuff. Like, it's not about anyone else. It's all about you. All of these things actually center you. They bring you back to yourself, and they center you, and they kind of make you the still sail in the windy storm. Does that make sense? It's all about centering your energy. I think that it's about you gifting yourself time for you. I think that overall what this is all saying is you actually have to gift sacred time to you. And if you feel like, oh, do I have to do another thing? There's not enough time in the day, then book it into your calendar and go, you know what? Sorry, I can't do that. I've got a non-negotiable that I actually have to gift myself 15 minutes. You feel quite all over the place. This is going to help center you. Excellent. You're on your way. Yes, that's exactly what this is saying, and affirming that you're on the right track. And these are going to take you deeper. Does that make sense? But it's going to drop you deeper into what your soul needs. Your soul needs you. And everybody else gets what's left over from what you need of you. Does that make sense? But this is beautiful. They all flew out together. Great. I'm really glad. We are going to use the magic, not logic. Here we go. Okay. You guys have hung in there from the beginning. Well done. There's nothing more rewarding than sharing what you've learned with people who want to learn it. Oh, there we go. Okay. I'm not sure what it is that you do, but this pesky thought, one day they'll realize I don't know what I'm talking about. Is that something that you think every now and then or often? Because the activation is, I am confident in the knowledge I already have, and I allow myself to learn, grow, and make mistakes. It's part of the journey. What I'm getting here is that you know way more than you think, and that sometimes you may feel like you don't know anything, or you don't know enough, or you don't know what you're talking about. But the thing is that you may not realize how much you know until somebody asks you a question who is actually interested in your answer. So the activation of I am confident in the knowledge I already have. I allow myself to learn, grow, and make mistakes. It's part of the journey. If you don't know something, don't make it up, of course, but be confident in what you know, and keep learning and asking questions. You don't express it much. No, I didn't think that you did. Yeah, sometimes you've just got to be in an environment where you feel safe enough to share. I never used to share. Like, that was my whole thing. That's why I got 4 thyroid diseases, because I was too scared to share. I was too scared to speak, because what if I said something wrong? What if I wasn't right? What if I said something stupid? Like, all of that. Now I just, you know, there's a really good swear word that I could use, and now I just say it. And if I'm wrong, I'll say I was wrong and I'll learn from it. But my feeling is that it's time for you to start sharing, and because you actually are the quiet observer, is what I would say. And I would find people that are interested in what you're passionate about and start having those conversations and sharing. And I think that it will add a depth to your life that you've been afraid to claim. Does that make sense? Because it's yours. It's right there. It's waiting to be claimed. And I think that you're going to love sharing what you've learned, because it's interesting. And when somebody speaks with passion about what they've learned, people will listen. One of the questions I have to answer today actually is, did people mock you when you started doing what you are doing? 100%. And it wasn't just strangers. It was my inner circle, my family. And my brother used to ring up and say, hello, is Madame Zelda there? What should I do? Should I buy or sell? And, you know, he was mocking me, but I just laughed and I'd say, no, you should sell. You should sell, definitely should sell. And I just passed over it. But did I share what I was doing with my brother? Absolutely not. He didn't deserve it. He didn't deserve it. I didn't share what, you know, the magic that I was living, because only the people that deserve to experience the magical world that I live in get to experience it. So I hope that is helpful for you. And sometimes those closest to us are the most challenging for us to share what we love. And that's okay. And that's okay. We can still love them. They just don't get that part of us. That part is reserved for the people who respect that part of us. And I think the thing, if you ask me, and I actually have been asked this question, they sent me a whole bunch of questions, right? What is the thing that I've learned the most in this life? And it's that there's not one person in the world that is going to fulfill all of your needs. Different people will meet a different need in you. So don't look for them all in one person, because in my experience, that's not possible, and it's a lot of pressure on one person. So I have my sharing and my communication needs met by different people, and it makes for a very rich life. The mocking is such an expression blockage and so discouraging. Yeah, the mocking. And you know what? The best response to mocking is to laugh. To laugh. and they don't know what to do with it. They don't know whether what you do is for real or serious. And that's what I've found, is to laugh. I don't get upset. I just laugh. And I go, yep. And but then I can have really deep conversations and, you know, delve really deep with people that are interested. And the same goes for any topic that we're interested in. A harem of husbands. Yep. Like, seriously, is my husband proud of me? Of course he is. Do I have these conversations with him? No, because he's not interested. And I'm okay with that, because we have our dynamic that works. But I have my 2 or 3 close girlfriends that I talk about different things with each of them. I get to come here, like, how blessed am I to come here and talk to you guys? And I make it work. I don't try and have all my needs fulfilled by one person, and that's how I got to be healthy and happy at my age. I rotted a lot of the parts of my body and suppressed all of that emotion to get here, but that's what I've learned. So I hope today has been amazing. It has been for me, and I will see you next week.